Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Charmel. I create beauty content with a dash of a lifestyle, and today I'm going to be telling you guys all about my favorite filming equipment. These tips are going to be geared towards smaller channels or beginners or people who have a really small or limited filming space. So if you would like to hear more about it, definitely keep watching. A little background on myself. I've been on YouTube for years, and YouTube has changed a lot over the years, and now I feel like a lot of channels are like full-blown productions, and so it's easy to kind of feel like you don't have enough. Or I know for a while I would feel a bit inadequate with some of the equipment. I felt like I couldn't keep up or that my equipment wasn't good enough. And what I've learned over the last couple of years is that you really don't need much to produce really good quality videos. So don't feel discouraged, don't feel frustrated. I do not have a really large filming space. I film in my bedroom. I guess for measurement reference, like as far as my arms stick out, that's about how much width space I have. So yeah, I have a very limited filming area, but I make it work. So the first thing we're going to talk about is cameras, because a camera is going to be the main thing with filming your videos. So I use about 3 different cameras to film my videos. So the camera that I'm using right now to film this is a Canon Powershot GSX Mark II. So this is honestly the most expensive camera that I have. I believe I paid about $600 to $700 for this camera. This camera is marketed more so as a like vlogging camera, but I actually use it to film the majority of my beauty content. So yeah, even though it's marketed as a vlogging camera, I feel like it still does really good. I know a lot of beauty gurus, makeup artists, they like to use the the Canon T9, like the really big one. Yeah, I don't know, that one always just seemed very intimidating to me. It's very big. It seems like you can do a lot with it. It produces great quality videos, but yeah, I'm not the biggest tech type of person. Like, I can figure out small things, but I never wanted to purchase a camera that was going to be too bulky for my setup, as well as just complicated to work and that I would have trouble learning to use. The next camera that I use is actually on my iPhone. So I have an iPhone XS, and if you have a smartphone, most of the newer smartphones that are coming out, they have really great cameras. You can get really good videos with your iPhone. I definitely use my iPhone like if I do any lifestyle or like vlogging. It's easier when you're out to just pull out your camera. So if you are going to use your phone, let me show you what settings to put it on. What you want to do, so you want to go to settings, and when you go to settings, you want to go down to camera, and so you want to make sure that at the bottom the smart HDR is turned on. And then for to record videos or record video, you want to make sure you put it on the highest quality. So I have it at on 4K at 60 FSPs. I don't really know what any of that means, but it's the higher resolution and it's smoother. The next camera I'm going to show you guys, I used this camera before I got my Canon, and this is the Samsung NX3300. And so it looks a bit like this. It's definitely a bit bulkier than the Canon. This was like my first like high quality camera. I purchased this on Amazon, and I paid, I want to say, a little over $300 for it. So this camera isn't terrible. But my biggest issue with this camera was the autofocus. Like, when I would film makeup videos, it would just constantly go in and out. It was very loud. There would be clips where it'd be extremely blurry and I wouldn't realize until it was time to edit. I don't really recommend this camera. It does take really good pictures though, so I still use this when I want to take photos, or if like my Canon needs to be charged and I need to film a quick clip or something, I'll film it with this one. All in all, I feel like your camera is going to be like the biggest part when it comes to filming your videos. I wouldn't recommend getting something super expensive, but yeah, you definitely want to make sure you get you a decent camera. For the most part, you just need to make sure you get a camera that's HD. So next we're going to be talking about tripods. If your filming area is a bit uncertain and you have to like kind of rearrange things or shift things in order to get the right angles to film in, you definitely want to get a tripod. So yeah, I have two tripods. So I have a larger version. I want to say it's about 6 feet. I'm gonna link it down below for you guys to check out. But yeah, it's just a standard tripod. I ordered it off Amazon. Amazon is like my go-to for techie items or filming equipment. You can always find you a pretty good deal on Amazon if you need some type of filming equipment. So I'm going to try to link everything down below. The next tripod that I use is a handheld tripod, and I really like this one because it's easy to hold, or you can set it up like on your desk or your vanity. It also has like the flexible legs, so if you want to hook it on something, you can do that. The brand is UB size, and so it also came with this phone adapter, so I can hook my camera up to it, or I can put on the adapter for my phone and use it as a tripod for my phone. It also came with a little remote, so if you want to take your own pictures, it's Bluetooth connected, so you connect it to your phone. I can't remember the price because I did purchase this a while ago, but again, I'm going to try to link everything down below. So the next thing we're going to talk about is just your overall setup. So when you're figuring out how you want to set up your filming area, you always want to take into consideration the lighting. The best practice is to always film in front of a window. Natural lighting, I feel like there's nothing compared to natural lighting, but the thing with natural lighting is that it's hard to control. You have to be mindful of how the sun moves past that window. Really time when you get the best lighting in your filming space. I filmed with natural lighting for a long time. I knew that in the mornings, like between like maybe 9 and 12, I would get the best lighting in that window, so I would have to schedule all of my filming during that window when the lighting was the best. So if you don't have access to a window with really good lighting, or your schedule just doesn't work with the way the light moves, I would recommend getting a ring light. So I'm actually using a ring light right now. This ring light is from Esker. It is 18 inches, and I've had a total of 3 ring lights. This is my 3rd one, and this one by far is my favorite. Again, I purchased this on Amazon. It was, I think I paid around $80 to $100. All of my ring lights have always been less than $100. I recently looked up this ring light for someone else who was interested, and the price did kind of go up. So yeah, it was about $125 the last time I looked, but by far this is my favorite ring light. So most ring lights come with like a stand for your camera, which if you have a small space that you're filming in, it eliminates you having to use a tripod, so it gets rid of some of the clutter. So it's a tripod and a light in one. Another thing that I really like about this ring light is that it has a dimmer, so you can adjust the lighting. You can make it as low or as bright as you want. Another cool thing that this ring light has that none of my other ones have is that it has a warming and cooling feature. So as you guys can see, I can turn it, and this is the warmer side. Right now, based on how my lighting is, I've been having it on the cool side. So like, this ring light always enhances the quality of my videos, especially because I film with a window behind me. But with this ring light and with the dimmer plus the temperature control, I can always like kind of balance it out with the light being behind. And so the last thing I'm going to cover is background. So I feel like the trends with your background is kind of always changing. So I know for a while like backdrops were really popular. I feel like now just kind of like natural setup is really big. Background is your preference. It's going to be based on what type of videos you produce. It's going to be based on the kind of vibe that you want to have. So the main important thing about backgrounds is to make sure that you keep your area neat and clean. You don't want to have too many distractions behind you, because then people are going to focus on what's behind you instead of you, which is what they should be focused on. And don't stress out too much, because keep in mind whenever you do a video, especially like for beauty videos, if I'm doing makeup, 9 times out of 10 the focus is going to be right on this area. If I'm doing a hair video, again, the focus is still here, so you don't really have to stress or worry about overdoing your background. So if you don't have like a really neat or clean background, the easiest thing is just to find a blank wall that you can film in front of. I used to film behind this blue blank wall right here, but I started to get a little bored with it, so I got me a little fake plant to put here to kind of jazz it up a little bit. Like when backdrops were really popular, like I really wanted to use backdrops in my videos. However, backdrops usually take up a lot of space, and I just personally didn't have the space for it. So I opted for collapsible backdrops. Basically, a collapsible backdrop is exactly what it sounds like. It's a backdrop that you can fold and put up when you're done. The measurements, I believe they're about 4 feet wide, 6 feet long. So yeah, they're made for smaller spaces, for people who do want to kind of change up their backgrounds a bit. I'm not going to open it because like these things, they're made for small spaces, but they're still kind of big and they're a headache to collapse back down, but they are an option. I have a green screen backdrop, so I used to play around with that a little bit. You can put like different stuff behind you. That was kind of, I didn't care for it too much just because like it will always show up funny on videos. But if you are into that stuff, you can get a green screen. And then I also have like a tie-dye pink colorish one. So you guys have probably seen my videos with that pink tie-dye color. You really only need one collapsible backdrop, and then you can buy different fabrics to cover it with. Then the way that they're made, you can basically just lean them up against the wall. That's what I would do. However, I also bought a stand, which I never really use too much. I'll always just kind of opted for putting it up against the wall, but they do make stands for these collapsible backdrops. And of course, I also purchased these on Amazon. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. We talked about cameras, we talked about lighting, we talked about background. I think those are going to be your top 3 concerns when it comes to filming videos if you're just getting started, or if you have a smaller face. As long as you have those 3 things covered, you should be good to go. So if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy this kind of content, definitely let me know by liking this video, leaving a comment down in the comment section, as well as subscribing so that I can produce more content like this. So again, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.